Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we are here for the Belgium Grand Prix for round number 13 of the season in our F1 2025 Ferrari Fantasy career mode. Currently P2 in the championship, quite far in front of Aston and Mercedes, but obviously we want to take the fight to Red Bull. Now, what can I say? This was not a great race last time out. This was actually practice race. P4, P5. We should have gotten the podium ideally with Leclerc, but Max had a very strong race there after poor quali, which did not help us. If we check the board's confidence, they're happy. As you can see, they're satisfied with Barcelona, happy, and then the last two races only satisfied. The first four, or well, Melbourne to Imola were really good. So we're gonna try and get back to that level here today, as of course we've got new engines in, power heavy circuit. So without further ado, I think we're gonna skip forward in the timeline. We've got the new design complete, new side pods, so I will develop them as well, spend a bit more cash as well, and then got some scouting complete, which we won't need just yet, but potentially in the future I might be looking into getting one of these drivers, maybe for the main team, although I probably would rather get them for Antonio Giovinazzi's seat. But then without further ado, I think it's time to head to the race weekend. Let me set the guarantees, and then of course, as per usual, I go through practice behind the scenes, and then I will see you guys before qualifying. So here we are then after FP1. We've got another sprint race, which I once again completely forgot about. Hamilton's setup is quite decent though, so we'll see how this goes. It's also stupid that I took a grid penalty for this race.
Green light.
Well, I can't really change much now, so we're just gonna have to send it and hope for the best here. So as you can see, comfortably in to Q2. I'm gonna take a used set as we do have a sprint race, and ideally we save a set. Set of satisfaction is actually insanely good. I did not see that. That is very good. 100% for Lewis Hamilton. I think that's only the second time in this career mode I have gotten 100% setup satisfaction, so I'll definitely take that. That will help us, as we are the first cars to start our lap in Q2. Does seem though as Hamilton is quite a bit off, as you can see. We're definitely gonna have to go out on a first set with Hamilton. That will not be an improvement for Hamilton. I'm gonna call him straight in. I just have to pray it's gonna be enough. Looks like we just about scraped through in P8. And we do indeed P5, P8 as we head into Q3 then. Normal qualifying conditions apply. Let's see what our drivers can do, especially Leclerc. So it's a purple sector 1. Hamilton beats it. Hamilton might have gotten up to pace. 28.9 last sector. What's Hamilton's last sector gonna be? Across the line. 28.9 as well. Hamilton goes to provisional pole. Hamilton has turned it up here when it mattered in Q3. Verstappen got held, which is interesting. That was on a used set as well. That was insane by Hamilton. So we're gonna go out for our second runs then. Let's see what Leclerc can cook here. I'm gonna go on board on X2, well 2x speed. So you don't have to watch the full 2 minutes, but almost. Well, half of it, I guess. As Leclerc starts his last lap, can he beat Hamilton's provisional pole lap? I'm sorry for the yawn, I'm quite tired. Anyways, up Eau Rouge. And we do not improve with... Oh, that was Hamilton already. No. Yeah, we were on board with Hamilton. Anyways, we don't improve in Sector 1 or, with either of our drivers, as Perez goes up to P1 by 12 thousandths So ideally we do find an improvement here if we want to steal pole off of the Red Bull through the middle sector. Is Leclerc going to find an improvement? He does not find an improvement. What about Lewis Hamilton? Is he going to find an improvement in the middle sector? He does not find an improvement either in the middle sector. Now it's up to the last sector. Charles Leclerc, he is quite a bit off to be fair, so there's a tiny chance he gets pole. Leclerc across the line, doesn't improve. Hamilton across the line, and he does not improve either. What is Verstappen gonna do though? Is he gonna get pole? Is he gonna go anywhere near the top 3? He gets P4 ahead of Charles Leclerc, and Hamilton I think will finish in P2. So we're gonna actually be I don't know if the grid pen will be for the sprint or the main race. It should be in for the main, but I think maybe in F1 managers for the sprint. But anyway, P2 and P5 net quali positions. As we've got FP2 coming up, I don't really need FP2 since my setup satisfaction is already very high. So I will just simulate that. We finish P1, P2, and yeah, without further ado, I think it's time to head into the sprint. I hope the penalties for this race, hold on, it shouldn't be. So I hope the game is programmed incorrectly. As we're at Spa-Francorchamps then. Sprint race coming up. Damaged car parts. Well, unfortunately we can't really do much here. We do have a new battery. The question is, can we go soft? We can indeed. I'm gonna go soft. I have the tires to go soft, so I might as well go for it. This time I'm not gonna overfuel by as much, as I want to see what happens if we don't overfuel by like 10 liters or whatever it was. But I think without further ado, it's time to head down to the sprint start for the Belgian Grand Prix.
Here we are, the sprint around Spa-Francorchamps. And it's lights out, and away we go.
So underway then. Hamilton can hold the lead. Leclerc is challenging Max Verstappen. Can't make a move just yet. Hamilton is challenging Perez for the lead, which is good to see. Oh, that Red Bull has insane straight line speed. Verstappen is getting close to Alonso, but can't overtake just yet. As ideally we stay in DRS range, but as we know that is quite a hard task for our drivers to do. As you can see, we're already gapped, and this just is insane. Everyone is on softs. Alright, I don't know if they're just fully pushing or what's going on, but this is just insane. It can't be the fuel making such a big difference. If it is the fuel, then the game is incorrectly programmed. It might be our insane engine wear, but even then, it's not that we don't lose it on the straights. We just lose it over the course of the whole lap, which is the interesting thing. As Leclerc might have a move, for some reason DRS is already open. That is quite interesting as well. Alonso gets past Hamilton, as we're gonna try and get past Verstappen here as well. Gonna go to neutral ERS, as Hamilton is just dropping like a stone. What is going on with Lewis Hamilton? Hamilton drops down to P4 now. Wet weather in 4 minutes.
Yeah, copy.
Okay, then it makes sense to fully push. I did not see that at all. Red Bull have the perfect double stacking margin. Leclerc drops back out of DRS range.
It's raining like crazy.
Raining like crazy. This is gonna be interesting. Question is if I pit. Ooh, was that too late? If I pit Leclerc, Alonso's into the pit lane. So I think I'll pit Leclerc this lap as well. And then Hamilton, I pit next lap for inters, I think. And then see if that works. I hope Leclerc goes in at the end of this lap, otherwise we are screwed. But he does indeed come into the pit lane, which is important. Everyone behind us does as well. Both Red Bulls stay out. That could be crucial. We need a clean pit stop here. And we do get a solid enough pit stop. Ideally this means we can even undercut the Red Bulls. As the track is quite wet, we should be going faster. I am fully pushing here. As of course the Red Bulls have to double stack. Why did Hamilton not pit? Hamilton stays out and does not pit when the track is wet. That is an absolute joke. Although we get in front of Verstappen with Leclerc, but I literally put Hamilton to pit as well. Oh, that's sad. And now we come into the pit lane and now we'll be so far back. P7 for Hamilton. That is not what we needed. Gonna turn the overtake aggression to high.
Just look after these tires.
Tires moderately overheating. Yeah, there's nothing we can really do. That is not what we needed. I don't know why he didn't pit. I literally said him to pit.
Let me know track condition when you can.
As the track condition has changed to dry, this will be interesting to see if either of the leaders go back into the pit lane. They don't just yet, as it might rain in 2 minutes again. Leclerc still holds on to the lead for now. Not to the lead. To P3 as track changes back to damp. Let's see if Hamilton can close up to Stroll potentially. Always defend.
No DRS. No DRS for him.
No battery for Hamilton, although we are on the back of Stroll. So we better make that overtake stick. As we head on to the last lap of the race then. Can Hamilton get Stroll, but more importantly, can Leclerc defend from...
And DRS is disabled.
can Leclerc defend from Max Verstappen behind? Meanwhile, I've got Hamilton. Can he make the move? We do not have DRS. Or maybe on pure slipstream. Verstappen cannot get the move done. Can Hamilton close in? Maybe go for a move, not just yet. As Albon locks up at turn 1, it is going to be Perez to win the race. And we're going to finish in P3 and P6 with our drivers here. But I really don't know why Hamilton did not pit there. That could have been
The car was incredible today.
a lot better of the race. Car apparently was incredible. Unfortunately, I don't really think that was the case. As our pace, I might just under fuel and see what happens, or I just have to fully push. But yeah, Leclerc gets P3 and Hamilton gets P6 in this race. But obviously the main points are on Sunday, and we have our grid penalty on Sunday as well. So we're going to be starting 12th and 15th, 10 place grid penalty actually, which is going to be quite a hefty penalty, but that's how it is if you break the rules, I'm afraid. As we're going to go for a massive undercut with both of our drivers. Might even go soft hard and go like really early to try and undercut the pack a bit. I'm just gonna go bang on with the fuel. I'm not gonna play around. And then without further ado, I'm gonna head down to the grid.
We've got
Now this
sport.
better work.
Get ready. It's the Belgian Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
As we're underway for the Belgian Grand Prix, then we are quite far back, of course. Different tire choices, which is interesting. Can turn the overtake aggression up, and hopefully we can just make some moves. Although we're not really making much progress yet. Hamilton overtakes Norris. That's the first move done. Perez on a used set of soft, which is interesting. Sure, that's not what Red Bull really wanted. It looks like we're kind of stuck at the moment in P10 and P13. Hamilton has some closing up to do. Gonna give him a boost of battery. And ideally Leclerc can get past Ocon here as well. As Ocon might just drop out of DRS range, this would help us a lot if I go on board with Charles Leclerc. Gonna let him use battery. We have the DRS. Can we close enough? Potentially around the outside. We're gonna try and go for it. We get our nose in. Can we make the move stick? Please tell me we can make this move stick around the outside. Please. He keeps his nose in, and is that the move complete? I think it is. As we go side by side into P1, but that has to be our move complete. And that is it indeed. Nice and done as well. That is a beautiful overtake, to be fair. As we're now up into P9. As Leclerc overtakes Magnussen as well.
Just a reminder on garage.
Puts us up into P8, although I think we can get P7 soon. Leclerc up to P6. Leclerc overtakes Nico
And it was
Hülkenberg.
involving Leclerc
We're making
this
good
time.
progress here.
They
Up
decide
the
to give it
inside
a
at
go.
turn 1. That is a nice move. And we should get P5 as well.
And
I
Leclerc.
think that is one of the Alpines. Gasly potentially. That is indeed Gasly. Perez comes into the pit lane. Is he going to be onto hards? He's onto mediums. So we're definitely going mediums with both of our drivers then. As Leclerc should be able to overtake Gasly quite soon. Gonna use some battery as well for good measure. I'm gonna pit. Can pit both cars this lap for a fresh set of mediums, as the gap between them is quite big. So confirm pit stop, confirm pit stop. Both drivers hopefully pitting this lap. Leclerc did get in front of Oh yeah, he did get in front of Gasly. I did miss that. As here we go, Leclerc. Please just have a regular pit stop without any issues. It's all I want, especially for Hamilton behind, who would lose a lot of time. And of course, we have an issue. We lose 2 seconds. Hamilton is not held. Hamilton does not have an issue.
And watch a wide line on exit.
That is quite sad, but we can't really change it. We get on. Did we get undercut? I think we might have been undercut. No, we've not been undercut. Huh? Oh, those are the people that started on mediums. I thought they were like mediums from practice. But anyways, that is pretty much what we needed. We can pretty much push to the end of the race from here. And then just hope that we get in a decent position. It's going to be hard to beat the Red Bulls without any red flags or anything. Especially with Max Verstappen being on the softs towards the end of the race. I'm going to forward in time a bit. As you get a virtual safety car. That would have been interesting if I would have stayed out a bit longer. But we didn't, so I can't really use that. We got a crash involving multiple cars. As Esteban Ocon is actually involved on old tires. So you're just gonna rear end Sargent. Oh, that is quite an interesting shunt. No brakes, brake failure apparently. As we've got multiple cars in the pit lane. And of course, Max Verstappen, actually multiple people in the pit lane. Well, everyone that started on mediums, of course. Good for them. Are they onto a set of softs and hard? So this is interesting. Softs will be quite dead at the end.
Ending now.
As we are back to pushing. I'm gonna use deploy mode and hopefully we can close in any gaps. Leclerc has a massive gap to Gasly, but I'm confident we can close that back in.
Energies are
Hamilton ideally can get past Russell then as well. Once we get past them, that would be important.
Is he okay?
As Leclerc sets a fast lap, we're closing in rapidly.
Okay.
As Hülkenberg sets the fast lap, that is interesting. Might need to do a bit of managing with Hamilton, to be fair. Seems to be fine with Leclerc. Ideally Hamilton finally gets this overtake done. We do have the DRS. Should be a simple pass. Hopefully not into Eau
There's a
Rouge,
yellow
but here,
flag
out
now.
of Eau Rouge. Russell goes for a spin, which is a free position for us. Can we get this move? Looks like it's going to be a copycat to Leclerc's move. We go round the outside at Lecombe. Can we get... Just keep our nose in at this corner. And into No Name, we should be in front. Or we're going to go side by side at Pouon. Down the inside, and that is a job well done for Hamilton. Although he has to close up to Magnussen now. That is going to be quite difficult for him to do. Gonna see what I can do in front. Verstappen is chilling on hards. Curious to see if Stroll can make it on the tires. He is gonna have to manage him quite a bit. Although I have to manage fuel and Hamilton's tires quite a bit as well.
And here Here we've got a yellow flag.
As Piastri goes for a spin at turn 19. We've got 15 laps to go in this race. Stroll peels off into the pit lane. That is not what I expected. That is interesting strategy by them. He's only 6 seconds back, to be fair. Never mind. Now he locks up again. And now he's even behind. Oh, we have a big crash. Sainz and... Wait, is that Albon taking out Sainz? We do have the new Mercedes livery, by the way, and that is a copycat of what we saw with Ocon and Sargent. Now it's Albon rear-ending Sainz, which is very, very interesting. Stroll currently in P8 now, as we get a virtual safety car. It's too late to pit anyway, so I'm just gonna recharge. Magnussen does go into the pit lane, guessing for a fresh set of softs. That could help us, as there's no way he'll close that gap.
Virtual safety car deployed. Stay positive.
Okay.
Let's go and harvest. Virtual safety car is ending, and there we go. Virtual safety car
Yeah, copy that.
ended. I can now probably push the tires to the end, I hope at least. With Hamilton, I probably have to deploy a lot of battery. Maybe we can even close up to Gasly. That would be ideal if you get in DRS of Gasly. And then we already overtake Gasly. There's not even a plan, but I do not mind that. Stroll is close as well. Ideally, we just push for it and gap them. The bigger the gap we get, the better. Although Stroll is right on the back of us, it's going to be quite difficult to gap. Stroll gets past us already. Can we stick with the... No, we cannot stick with the Aston Martin. That is too bad. As Magnussen sets a fast lap, we're probably gonna have to let him go as well. Unable to stick with him. Gonna have to save a bit of fuel. Can we stick with Magnussen? I don't think so. Magnussen actually overtakes Stroll, so fair play to Magnussen. Looks like we're gonna get P4 with Leclerc. That's quite certain. As Max Verstappen heads on to the final lap, we might actually be able to overtake Stroll here. I just go all out on this last lap. We go for it. That was actually quite a close call, but we're gonna open DRS. We should get this overtake done, to be fair. If Stroll goes defensive, he does not go defensive. Hamilton is not doing enough to get this overtake done. Impossible to follow. Race is long, not really. It's just about a few more corners, mate. As we head into the last sector, can we do anything here? Max Verstappen takes the win with a lucky VSC, giving him basically a free victory in front of Perez and Alonso. That's another 1-2 for Red Bull. Hamilton's not going to do enough. It's going to be P4 for Leclerc, P7 for Hamilton here at the Belgian Grand Prix from like P12 and P15 on the grid. You can see both up 8 positions, which is quite decent. Magnussen with a really good race for Haas as well, and then Verstappen with a lucky safety car. Yeah, in the drivers, Max pulling out even further in front. Red Bull gaining a decent amount of points. We really need to get some 1-2s again if we want to try and close in on Red Bull in the second half of the season. But that was it for this episode, and until next episode, I think for the Dutch Grand Prix for round 14 of the season, from me, it's take care and goodbye.